Nachiketas in Kathopanishad asks this question about God, about the nature of self, for which Yama gives the answer, saying it is Ascharya, it is wonderment. You cannot understand it. It's not something that you can. It's not something that you can comprehend. It's not something that you can understand. It is something to be wondered about. God is not a subject matter of an understanding. God is not a subject matter of something that you can know. It is something to be wondered about. First stage you have to get into an wonderment. Second stage is you will experience. That is a different story altogether. Wonderment implies it transcends your grasp. Today, the word God will not evoke any wonderment because you know God already. What wonderment it will evoke? It will not evoke any wonderment. If at all any wonderment means, what is the utility? God will solve my problem, that will evoke wonderment. God per se is not going to evoke wonderment. The God who can solve my problem, God who can protect my family, God who can take care of my diseases, we bring him down even worse than a doctor. He has to come and cure our disease. He has to come and cure our. You indulge, you get into a disease. He has to come and cure. You lead a wrong, indisciplined financial way. You go bankrupt. God has to come and help us. You understand that? So, God doesn't evoke wonderment at all. The word God today does not evoke any ascharya, any wonderment, because you know God already. When you know something already, what wonderment it can cause? It will not cause. Therefore, Nachiketas, this advice that it's all ascharya, it's wonderment is given to Krishna, is not giving to Arjuna. Krishna is quoting Kathopanishad and saying, this is what Yama told Nachiketas. Arjuna, don't worry about it. This is what they have said. Too much for you, leave it. Don't. If it is too much for you, leave it. Don't bother. But this is what Yama taught Nachiketas. Not for indirectly saying it's not for. It is not for you, don't worry. It is clear. Quotations are always meant to be. When you hear a quotation, what you should do? Appreciate it and leave it. Don't take it because it's not meant for Arjuna. It is not meant for Arjuna. Ascharya, wonderment. God is not a subject matter of wonderment at all, because you know already. One word in life where you don't have any doubt is this word God. You will have a doubt about male, female, who's a boy, who's a girl. You will have a doubt. You will have a doubt about what is right, what is wrong. You will have a doubt. You will have a doubt about everything in life. And one word will not evoke any doubt at all in you. In the entire humanity. Because you already know. To those who already know God, what to talk about? We know God, but will not know how to handle our relationship. Look at the irony of it. We know God, but we will not know how to handle our health, our wealth, our relationship. But God doesn't evoke any doubt. Here he says, it's not only doubt, it's much, much deeper than that one. That is Ascharya. It is wonderment. What is wonderment? It transcends your understanding. It's so vast, it's so vast, it's so deep, it's so deep, it's so subtle that your intellect bows down and says, no, it's beyond my capacity. That is Ascharya. That is Ascharya. Opposite of that is you know already. You know God already. Since you know already, there is no seeking. Because if you have to seek, you should not. It should be unknown. You can't seek that which you know already. You can't seek that which you know already. First it has to be understood as unknown. Then search will start. If you know it already, what can you search? There is no search. You follow what I am saying? The child which is flushed with money from childhood will not run behind money. The person who has suffered without money will run behind. It's not there, then only you will run behind it. When it is there already, what will make you to run behind it? What will make you to pursue that? There is nothing. Therefore, number one, the word God is so clear that you understand perfectly. Yeah, correct, you are right. The word God, no one turns around and says, please explain that. I don't understand anything. The 8-year-old child, 10-year-old child also understands. The 40-year-old man also understands. The 80-year-old person also understands. So, who are they addressing? Who are they talking to about God? God only knows. But definitely not to us. Because we already know. Since you know God already, there is no seeking. There is no seeking. There is no thirst. There is no seeking. Number 3, that which you know, you will do a mechanical set of actions and that's it. There will not be any intensity in that action. You know something where there is no thirst, where there is no search. You will do it, but there will not be any, there will be nothing behind it. Like the child celebrating birthday today. There is no happiness in that birthday celebration. Happy birthday, no? We also have to send messages saying happy birthday. Birthday means what the child understands. Birthday means what the child understands. A set of rituals. New clothes, cut the cake, invite friends, have a party, that's it. So birthday means a set of rituals. Marriage means a set of rituals. Education means a set of rituals. Religion also means a set of rituals. That's all. It's the same. There is no difference at all. You follow what I am saying? So now, therefore, it doesn't evoke any wonderment at all. It doesn't evoke any ascharya at all. More you do a set of actions, that much more mechanical it becomes. more you do a set of actions, that much more mechanical it becomes. That much more mechanical it becomes. A time comes where you will be doing all sets of actions, but internally nothing is stirred. Internally nothing is changed. Internally you remain the same, but outside the whole set of actions are, the entire set of actions is done so perfectly, but look at the doer. One is the action, another is the actor. Vedanta says forget the action, look at the actor. Look at the actor. Look at the actor. I mean, what is his internal state while he is doing that action? That is important. What is his internal state while doing the action? Don't worry about the action. For you can train yourself to do it. You can train yourself to act. Please carefully follow. You can train yourself to act. When the search is there, internally there will be something will be stirred in you. When the search is not there, action you will do perfectly. You follow? That's what is happening in the name of religion and God today. Everyone does what? The action has to be done. So good. Nothing wrong about it. It's perfect also. Look at the actor. Look at the doer. Nothing is stirred. Nothing is stirred inside. Nothing is happening inside. Why? Exactly like the child celebrating birthday. Exactly like the child celebrating birthday. Look at the birthday celebration today. The children are bored. Children are bored because it has become a set of rituals. So you wish the child, that wishing is mechanical. The child saying thank you is also mechanical. You follow what I am saying? There go. And yet, year after year, it will make, the same child will make so much of fuss to celebrate birthday. While celebrating birthday, it's mechanical. Nothing is happening inside. Therefore, from this what do you derive? You can do an action and be untouched by what you are doing. You can do religious action from outside and be irreligious inside. Yeah, that's what we can understand. You can do an action which from outside seems to be enjoying, but inside boring. Correct. For enjoyment, you can go to a movie, get bored and come back. For happiness, you can go on a holiday, get frustrated and come back. It means what? You spend so much of time in training yourself to do the action and forget what have you forgotten? There is a doer inside, and the doer is more important, and it is the doer that brings vitality to the doing. It is the actor that brings vitality to the action. The action doesn't bring vitality to the actor. Don't put the cart before the horse. Today, we do exactly the opposite. We think the action itself will turn the action itself will help the actor. Vedanta says, action will not help the actor. It is the actor that brings vitality to the action. Action is celebrating birthday. That action itself will not bring what? Happiness. Idu purida? This much you can understand. Action is going to work. That action itself will not bring vitality, happiness, correct? Your happiness going to work itself will not bring the happiness. Then what brings? I saw that yesterday, day before, my friend, hey, I sent you something, watch. See, normally they keep sending, I don't see anything. You send me a WhatsApp message and I will not. Blue tick irukandradanaala don't think I have seen. I don't see. So he called me and said, hey, I sent you this video. See this video. I like this video so much. I couldn't control. Can't forget that. So funny. The man wakes up in the morning, going to the bathroom to brush the teeth, carrying the mobile with him. Because you have to carry the mobile, no? Wherever you go, you have to take the mobile, no? See, 30 years back, they didn't have the mobile, so they used to carry newspapers. One uncle will do that in my house. I told my father, whenever he comes, we buy 2 papers. One exclusively for him. The fellow takes the newspaper to the there and brings out. Now who can read that again? So the fellow took the mobile and is brushing. Ding ding, ding ding, message. Is checking. Salary credited to your account. SMS. Bank is sending the salary credited to your account. He's smiling. Instantly SMS. Home loan EMI auto debited. He's like, he's going. Instantly another SMS. Car loan EMI auto debited. Third, credit card EMI auto debited. The joke illa. The last is the best. Last SMS. Maintain minimum balance. Can you understand that? Maintain minimum balance. I say, where you guys get all that? In 1 minute, the joy content is gone. By the time he brushed and came out, he went in with sorrow, came out with the last SMS. That's the best. Maintain minimum balance in your account. Because it's already negative polar. There is no joy in action, because action cannot give anything. Action will not change the actor. It is the actor that has to bring vitality to the action. Today we do exactly the opposite. We think actions by itself is enough, sir. Whatever I am doing it correctly. No, is that not enough? Honestly, I will feel like saying it's not enough, but then not to hurt, I say, that is enough, continue. Because the action will not bring vitality to the actor. It is the actor that has to bring vitality into the action. God. You can do a set of actions in the name of God, for God, and it can be very mechanical. It means what? There is no vitality. Height of that is ascharya. Height of that is ascharya, wonderment. Where The intellect is stunned. Intellect is stunned. What is the stunningness there? It's beyond comprehension. It's beyond comprehension. We cannot stay in that Ashcharya. We have to immediately want to know, break it open, rip it up and understand. Out of that understanding, what you lose? Wonderment is lost. Wonderment is lost. Immediately, that's the difficulty of the human ego. It can't stand in that wonderment. It has to keep probing. It has to break it up. And then, I understood, sir. Mount Everest. Oh, fantastic. What is the height? Why do you have to know that? Why can't you just stay there? Immediately you have to kill it. Now I am saying how you kill it. You have to kill it. How do you kill it? What is the height? 8,500 meters. As though you understand what? As though actually speaking, you don't understand what 8,500 meters is, because you don't know the difference between millimeter, centimeter and meter. Oh, 8,500 meters. What is gone now? Something you come to know about Mount Everest, as a result of which, what is lost? Wonderment is gone. That's how see, nature provides us with enough opportunities to be in wonderment, and we immediately destroy it. We immediately kill it. How do we kill it? By trying to ask all the non-essential questions about it. But you should know what is the essential question, what is the non-essential question. Tragedy is you don't know that. You will know only to ask all the non-essentials. What is the non-essential? What is the height of Mount Everest? 8,500 meters. You know it, but that knowing will not make. What is the weight? See, for someone, the mass of earth is so much wonderment. He probes it, he understands it. Even that understanding remains an Ashcharya for him. Carefully follow now. Now you read that, what will happen to you? And the more and more information takes away all the wonderment. More and more information takes away all the wonderment. In fact, it will give you the ulta result. Your mistrust will start. Your doubts will start. More and more information, more and more clarity will not come. More and more doubts will come. Mistrust will come. Another example. How does information creates mistrust, doubts? You go to the doctor, he prescribes a medicine, you come out, Google, find out everything about the medicine. That information is not inspiring you to take the medicine. You go to an Ayurvedic fellow, you Google, nothing will come. So you think better. Are you able to understand? Both are. I am not saying which is worse. I really do not know which is best or which is worse. The information, more and more you know, familiarity breeds contempt. That's why you want to know more. You can't stay in Ashcharya. What is Ashcharya? From a different angle, the capacity to know what to ask, what not to ask. That's Ascharya. Ramana says, you will come to an enlightened master and you will not know what to ask him. You will come and ask him, when did you get enlightenment? Satya? See, now what will he say? He can't say, I got enlightened at 31st February 1945. No. He can't say that. He will say that and he will make a note also. No? Literally I tried it with 3 and all 3 took it also. Someone asked, sir, when 31st February is the best day of my life. Correct? 2 weeks later only they will realize that there is no such thing called, you know that, no, at least you understood, no? Oh, இப்பதான் சார் புரியுது எங்களுக்கு என்ன, forget it. When did you attain, when did you achieve enlightenment? How did you feel when you attained enlightenment? These are all the non-essential questions about enlightenment. What is the essential question about enlightenment? What did you do to get there? Teach me that. That is Nachiketas asking Yama. Ivulo kada solradhu idhudan. Nachiketas went and asked Yama, teach me that. What made you to come to this level? Teach me that. I don't want to know all the non-essentials. What is the non-essential? What is my father's name and what is my mother's name is non-essential as far as you are concerned. By knowing my father's name and by knowing my mother's name, what will you know? But then you will want to. That's why most of the people who come to the class, unless they come and talk to me, I don't even know their names. I don't even know where they, because it is non-essential. Where are you coming from? What is your phone number? What is your visiting card? That is non-essential. You kill the Ascharya. Nature gives you enough opportunities to get into that wonderment. By asking the wrong question, by analyzing it wrongly, you destroy it. You kill it. To that boy who is asking the right question, Yama says it is wonderment. And Krishna is quoting what Yama told Nachiketas, indirectly telling him, it's okay for, it's not for you. In an ideal state, in an ideal student, this is what happens. Some sees this as a wonderment, some hears this as a wonderment, some talk about this as wonderment, and none knows it at all. None knows it at all means none has experienced it. The one who has experienced stays quiet. The one who has not experienced talks about it. That is Ascharya. Adu kuda wonderment da, he says. The one who has an experience, he stays quiet. He is not as emphatic as he himself will say, maybe you try it out. He talks that. A man who has not experienced is more eloquent. More eloquent. Chapter 1, Section 2, Verse 7, Kathopanishad. Ascharya. Because Nachiketas asked, what is it, Yama? What is it? What is it? He says, why are you asking? It's wonderment. You can't ask Nachiketas. Don't ask this question because it's wonderment. By asking the question and by me giving the answer, it will be killed. It will be destroyed. So, stay in Ascharya in relation to God, in relation to bondage, understand it to the core. When it comes to God, Nachiketas, stay in wonderment. Don't bother about it. Stay in wonderment. When it comes to bondage, understand it to the, rip it up and understand it to the core. We do exactly the opposite. We want to rip up God and understand everything about God. Bondage, we don't even want to. In relation to bondage, we don't even want to open up and see it. Wonderment. It's a marvel. It's a wonderment because the intellect is stunned. It freezes. That is wonderment. But then the ego cannot stay for long. It has to immediately. See, there are some temples where the murti, the sanctum sanctorum, the idol is so huge. Instead of standing in wonderment, இது ஒரே ஸ்டோன்லயே பண்ணதா 3 ஸ்டோன்ல பண்ணதா? Now what difference does it make whether it is made out of 1 stone or 3 stones? You understand? That's how you kill it. You follow? That's how you kill it. From which fellow will make dhotis for this God, because he is also wearing a dhoti, no? So big. So which store supplies cloth to? These are all the questions that is irrelevant. What is relevant? Oof. What a wonder, no? What an wonderment. What an wonderment. You follow what I am saying? What an wonderment. Even relatively, you look at your father and mother. Wonderment. How they kept you at home itself is a wonderment. Because I see, here is my daughter troubling me. Here I troubled my father. Between the two, see what she is doing to me is literally nothing compared to what I did to him. Troubled him so much. Everything is a trouble only. So imagine every 2 months you have to come and stand in front of the principal saying sorry, I will make sure that he will not do it again. He comes home and says, எவ்வளோ வாட்டிடா வந்து நிற்கிறது, school இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் you have to come, what to do now. Compared to that, what is this? Wonderment. You follow what I am saying? But how do you kill it? You kill it. You follow? In every aspect of life, wonderment is the possibility. And in every aspect of life, we know how to kill it. It's not only in relation to God, because God is a phenomena of totality. So, in every aspect, there is a possibility of wonderment. And in every aspect, we kill it. Every aspect we kill it. And then come and ask, how to be happy, sir? God has given you infinite opportunities to be in wonderment and be happy. You kill that and come and ask how to be happy. See, today this happiness has become, even Diwali you have to say happy Diwali. Correct? I said for Diwali, why do you have to say happy Diwali? Clear? For Diwali you should say what? என்ன கேட்கணும்? அது நிறைய மாசம் இருக்கு சார், அப்பதான் we will remember. இப்போ சொன்னேன்னா what do you remember? What should you ask? நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. Correct. That is that. It should remind you of Ganga, sin, enlightenment, all that should be reminded. Diwali. Today you say happy Diwali, happy birthday. Sometimes by mistake you have to send happy death day also. Because everything is happy, no? Happy Women's Day. Everything is happy birthday. Happiness is not there. Because you kill the possibility of happiness in all possible ways, you kill it. And then come and ask how to be happy. Yama tells Nachiketas, simply stay in wonderment. And everything is wonderment. Everything is wonderment. Yeah. The food that goes inside. Imagine we have transparent bodies. Supposing if we have transparent bodies, sometimes I think maybe God should have kept us like that. We will not even want to see each other, no, after that. It's exactly like coconut, no. See that outer layer of 1 millimeter deceives the inner coir. See that 1 millimeter outer layer, which is so smooth, which is so soft, it looks like, this thing completely deceives what? That meshed, that tangled. Oh yes. Why he kept it like that? Ascharya, wonderment. We don't know why he kept it like that. It is Ascharya, wonderment. இது கூட தெரியாதா சார் உங்களுக்கு? See, coconut so high, if it falls, it will break. You will not get the fruit. Therefore, coir protects the. I can give you that explanation and kill the. So from next time you see, coconut I know. What? See, because coconut is what? 30 feet high, 40 feet high. Imagine it falls from that height. What will happen? So that coir effect is needed. That cushion is needed so that it is kept safe. Knowledge is correct. But this knowledge, what it will do to you? Next time he says, coconut is symbolic. It takes to the temple. It is symbolic of all this. Nothing will inspire you because you have known that which you need not know. You have known that which you need not. You follow what I am saying? Ascharya. The food that you eat, how it gets digested. See, they said everything the body has to convert it into glucose. Then only it can digest. Body doesn't digest potatoes. The body doesn't know what potato is. Body doesn't know what tomato is. Body only knows glucose. Ascharya. How it is converted. And you take spoons after spoons after glucose, you will get a heart attack very soon. Because it will convert into fat. You will not know what to do. Body will not know what to do. It's Ascharya. It's Ascharya. It is Ascharya. See. Why the lions give birth to few in the lifetime, and piglets and pigs give birth to many. Why not the other way? Ascharya, wonderful. Who designed it? Who kept it like that? It is Ascharya. It is Ascharya. It is wonderment. You can go on and on and on. Find out your own examples. Find out your own things. He says what has struck him. Daffodils is what struck him. Now you don't have to chase daffodils. You find out You find out your own. You don't have to go run behind. But then what is important? That Ascharya is important. See, even here, we forget the Ascharya and run behind non-essential. The daffodil is non-essential as far as you are concerned. That's what, in that story, Laila and Majnu, the boy heard the story. The boy read the story of Laila and, see, of all the love stories, Laila and Majnu is extraordinary. You can't compare anything else to that. When Laila is cut, Majnu started bleeding. That's the intensity of love. When Laila was cut, Majnu started bleeding. He forgot everything except he knew only one thing. Laila, Laila, Laila. Father comes and says, why are you on the... Come home. He says, what is home? Without Laila. What is home? Just come home. Is Laila there? Illappa, innu konja naal avum varthukku. What is home? Without? It just goes. And the king decided. It's the king, the prince, the handsome prince. The king said, okay, you talk to them, and when nothing works out, you agree to their marriage, no? Like that only. Okay, bring Laila to the court tomorrow. We will decide. That fellow has already decided whether you agree or not. What difference does it make? Laila was brought to the court. The king looked at Laila, looked at Majnu, and said, where is Laila? Yes. The whole court went, you, is this Laila? Handsome Prince Majnu, ugly looking? 1 feet short, 1 feet tall, teeth protruding out, ugly looking. King said, can't you see how ugly she looks? Turned around and said, to see the beauty of Laila, look at her through my eyes. If you have to see the beauty of Laila, father, look at her through my eyes, the eye of love. Beauty is because eye of love. It looks ugly because you don't have love in your eyes. If you have love in your eyes, she will look beautiful, fantastic. Everything in that story is so fantastic. This is not what I was trying to say. The boy heard about the story and he decided that Majnu Dasar, I should love like how Majnu loved. So he went to the market, bought the photograph of Laila and started loving. Yeah. Because Rama inspired Tyagaraja. He doesn't inspire you, no. You do the same thing. You go and buy that photograph. And he bought the photograph of Laila and started loving. Majnu heard that. He called that boy aside and said, hey, get rid of that photograph. Because it has got nothing to do with Laila. Have the heart of Majnu and find your own Laila. Are you able to understand? Have the heart of Majnu and find your own Laila. Leave my Laila alone, he said. Leave her alone. But today, what do we do? Because action is easy to imitate. It's easy to imitate action. See, Tyagaraja lived on begging. I have seen fellows, they have full breakfast and then dress up like him and start begging. What a mockery of him. I said, have you ever tried it? And I have tried it. I have tried it. Collect samples. Collect rice from 10 different houses. It will be 10 different varieties, no? Because not all house buys the same brand, same thing, no? So in one house maybe basmati, in another house maybe this parboiled. Another house ration. You mix all that and cook and eat one day at least in your life. See, that man ate, and he is able to produce wonderful poetry. Ascharya. You can imitate action, for action is easy. But to have the heart requires tapas. You follow? To have the heart requires tapas. But to do the action, you just have to force yourself to do it. If you force yourself, it becomes a kind of a habit, a mechanical pattern, and you can do it. And you also think, no one can be as spiritual as me, sir. Exactly like that. No one can be as humble as. The most arrogant statement is that. Most arrogant statement is to say, no one can be as humble as. No one can be as good as me, sir. இந்த மாதிரி நல்லவங்க எல்லாம் தேடினா கூட கிடைக்காது சார். Who? He himself? And he genuinely believes in that. What makes him to say that? What makes him to believe that? The set of actions that he does. The set of actions that he does makes him to believe that. And you tell him that, he will get angry at you. You will get annoyed at you. You will say, சார் இது மிச்சவங்களுக்கு சொல்லணும் சார், not to me. எனக்கு, you understand? Ascharya. Everything in life is Ascharya. And you will have no time to ask the wrong questions. Because you are in when you are in constant wonderment, where do you have time to go and ask, what is your breakfast, lunch, dinner menu? I can look at a Gautam Buddha and ask him, what you used to eat? Because I think if I eat the same thing, at least 1% I will become Buddha. You follow what I am saying? Ascharya. Fundamental. In the book Vedanta Treatise, in the Supreme Reality portion, he quotes the Science magazine. What goes into registration of a site? Just a site. 100 million calculations take place in a split second before you register a site. Ascharya. It's wonderment. Every aspect of life is wonderment. Your intensity of wonderment increases in direct proportion to the suffocation of bondage. How much you are suffocated by bondage, to that extent your capacity to wonderment increases. That's why they say, forget wonderment, understand bondage. Forget wonderment, understand bondage. You can talk everything about God, you can do everything about God, but it will not evoke wonderment. In one of the temples here, during rainy season, they give pepper rasam to God. Because God catches cold. See, that man who did that, see what amount of love that man must have had to do that. Now I can do the same pepper rasam and give, nothing happens. Me. That's the difference. Are you able to follow it? He is not saying, he is not mocking at that. He is not saying that is wrong. Without making an effort to develop that heart, don't get into the action. First make an effort to develop that heart. Then you will do actions in your own natural way. You don't have to imitate what someone else. You follow? That's all. But then when he says it, we think, oh, these people, they mock at all the religious rituals, sir. Why Vedanta people always talk about mocking at rituals? They are not. They think first have the heart. Become Majnu and find your Laila. Don't keep Laila first and act like Majnu. And if you have to get that heart of Majnu, what to do? If you have to get the heart of Majnu means the seeker. Majnu means the seeker. What you have to do? Understand bondage. Understand bondage and do tapas. Understand bondage and do tapas. Two things. Two pedals. Understanding, tapas. Mere tapas without understanding is a mechanical set of rituals. Mere understanding and not doing anything is just an intellectual discussion. Just tickling the humor of the intellect. That's all. Then both goes hand in hand. There is the maturity. There is the development. How do you know that you are evolving? Wonderment is the yardstick. How do you know that you are evolving? Whatever happens, I am not affected, sir. Means you are going into coma. Yeah, you are not maturing. What is the yardstick of evolution? Yama gives a yardstick. We might not agree with Yama. That is a different story. Yama gives that yardstick. What is the yardstick? Wonderment. So, in order to reach the state of wonderment, where do you start? Understand bondage and get suffocated by bondage. That suffocation will drive you to do tapas. That suffocation will drive you to do tapas. What does tapas means? The effort to pursue your conviction is tapas. The effort that you put to pursue your goal, the effort that you put to pursue your conviction is called tapas. Understand? Tapas doesn't mean standing on one leg. It doesn't mean that. You have a conviction and you are ready to put your heart and soul to pursue that. If you are doing that, you are doing tapas. You are doing tapas. And understanding drives you to tapas. Tapas drives you to a greater understanding. Greater understanding drives you to do more tapas. Two pedals to the cycle. You are moving forward. At any point of time, you need to know whether you are on the right track or not. Because you can't start doing all things and going in the wrong direction. That is very important. How do you know that you are in the right direction? You need a yardstick. A yardstick that doesn't fail. A yardstick that doesn't give you any wrong indication. What is the yardstick? Wonderment is the yardstick. That's why he is called Sankhya Yoga, the highest knowledge. Chapter 2 is called the Yoga of Knowledge. What is knowledge? This is the knowledge. What is knowledge? This is the knowledge. Ascharya, wonderment. சரியா? இதுக்கு மேல wonderment பத்தி பேசினா that will become non-wonderment. Yes.
So when the wonderment starts increasing, the question starts becoming lesser.
The questions? Yes.
But then you're saying we have to keep on questioning about bondage.
Yes.
But when you are getting to that state of wonderment,
Yes.
you're in a state of a more happier, cheerful state.
Correct.
And somewhere you're balancing. So
You have killed wonderment already.
pardon?
You have killed wonderment already by calling it as happier and cheerful. You kill wonderment already. You follow what I am saying? See, I can't say I am in wonderment and just stay there. I need to understand that state of wonderment also. That understanding that state of wonderment makes me to say it makes me happier. It makes me cheerful. You follow? And then what happens? Now continue. The moment you have compromised, the moment you have killed the wonderment by calling it as happy, cheerful, bliss, surrender doesn't happen after that. For wonderment and surrender, what you should do? You should not don't use any vocabulary. Forget all your words. Forget all your words and stay in that. That is wonderment. Are you able to follow?
When wonderment and surrender happens,
Yes.
it's a question of
The question.
the bondage.
Yes. The question is, how questioning comes is, why that wonderment is so short-lived? Why is it so short-lived? 5 seconds kuda adanudaiya lifetime. That lifetime of wonderment is not even. That's the question. What do I do so that it stays longer? Don't go to Mount Everest next year again and spend 3 days there. By that you will not make it longer. How you can make it longer? Come back to tapas. That's where the wonderment itself drives the questioning. Are you able to follow? The wonderment itself drives the questioning. A time comes where you are in such a height of wonderment, all questions stops. That's the state of tapas, height of tapas it is. That state of no questioning can come only through constant questioning. You can't directly. Don't get carried away by all this wonderment talk now. Because you can't directly. Just as effortlessness comes out of great effort. Effortlessness comes out of great effort. That state of non-questioning can come only through deep questioning. Nachiketas has already done that and come to that point. That's why I said the first 2 weeks I didn't say the context. Innikina I am saying the context. The context is that deep questioning. More and more and more you question. Therefore, the starting point is questioning. Just as how can questioning lead to no questioning? Just as much effort leads to effortless. Correct? If someone is doing an action so effortlessly, what do you understand? Much effort has gone into it. It's not that he just picks up the racket, comes to the court and starts serving. It goes at 160 miles. Hours and hours of lonely hours of practicing. No one to cheer, no crowd to. See, there is no crowd to cheer him into practice. No prize money given to motivate, to practice. That is tapas. So he steps onto the center court and hits the ball. It's so inspiring. Why? Because you can see the tapas. And when he does the tapas, you should visualize that man must be lonely, all by himself doing it. No guarantee that he is going to come to this place. What would have motivated that man to do that? Child doesn't understand all that. The child thinks what is the shoe that he is wearing? Buy the same shoe. What is the branded shorts he is wearing? Buy that branded shorts. What is the branded t-shirt he is wearing? Buy that. What is the branded racket he is using? Buy that. So he thinks by getting all that and stepping onto the court, it can also play like a Federer. Federer will say, go back. First make sure the ball goes over the net. You are serving in such a way that 4 bounds it reaches the player. I can't forget that. That's how my first service in my life I can't forget. I served 4 bounds, down, where it went? To the net. That Boris Becker is flying all over the court and hitting. Because at that time he was the one who was. You follow what I am saying? The state, to reach that state of no questioning and surrender, comes out of deep questioning, much questioning. Therefore, Vedanta says, start questioning. And it also teaches you what is the right question to ask. Because left to you, you will ask. Left to you, you will ask all the wrong questions. What is the wrong questions? You will ask all the wrong questions. What is the wrong question? I can't say who they are. Quite a few ask me, sir, sometimes if you don't mind, can I see your horoscope? They asked me, can I see your horoscope? Marriage, I got married. You will see horoscope only when you are going to get. Otherwise, why will you see the horoscope? What do you think? I don't know what they are going to. do. And I gave also. I created an horoscope. Because I know how to create. I know. I can't tell you all that. So I created one and I gave. He came back and said, what? இந்த ஹாரோஸ்கோப்புக்கு நீங்க இப்படி இருக்க கூடாது இப்போ. For this horoscope you should not be like this today. அதான் சார் எனக்கும் டவுட்டா இருக்குது. I said, what do I do now? He is confused. Non-essential. See, you come and you ask the See, even when you come and ask, you ask the... So Vedanta is so extraordinary because it says question and it helps you to ask the right question. Left to you, you will ask only? Huh? Left to you, you will ask only all the wrong questions. Now what will you do with my horoscope? Huh? What will you do? Because something they can understand. I said, see, one class you come and sit and listen, you will understand that I don't know anything. Why do you have to look at my horoscope? Huh? Able to follow? Number 1 is to question. Number 2 is to learn to ask the right question. Instead of saying the right question, use the word essential. I will not use the word right. I will use the word essential. Learn to ask the essential question. If you look at the Federer, what question you should ask him? The essential question. How do you practice? How do you practice? In what all techniques you practice that brought you here is the right question. Your breakfast, lunch and dinner menu is the not so important. That's all. Extraordinary clarity is required to distinguish the essential and the non-essential. That's where you need Shastras. That's where you need an enlightened master. They sit and distinguish for you. That man doesn't need that distinction because he has already transcended. Now he doesn't need it. If he is sitting and doing, he is doing it for our sake. See, the man who has transcended, he doesn't have to, because for him there is no such thing called essential, there is no such thing called non-essential. For that enlightened man. But he is sitting and giving this distinction. For what? For our sake. For our sake means to distinguish, because first he has to say question, second he has to teach you the essential questions. This following by the advice that he gives, the tapas, questioning, and the tapas keeps you in the path of evolution. And how do you know that you are evolving? Wonderment. How do you know that you are evolving? It is wonderment. It is ascharya. It is wonderment. Yeah. How the plane landing is the not taking off. How it is landing without toppling is the wonderment. It's a wonderment because it is coming from that speed, that height. See, you try and land like that. Oh, don't try, huh? You will be in Artho Kerala, you will be there. All bones will be, it's an ascharya. It's wonderment. It just goes. Land there, even that small thing, you feel, he didn't land. See, there are some pilots, they land. Rough landing. You know, that man must have been our PTC driver. Yeah, there are some guys who, they land and you don't even know that you have landed. It doesn't matter. Ascharya. What is ascharya? How that fellow? Everything in life is every aspect of life, everything in life, you can use it as wonderment. Wonderment is the reminder of divinity. That's all. Itoda wonderment is completed. Wonderment is the reminder of the divinity. That's all. Wonderment. It reminds you of the divine. Wonderment is nothing but the reminder of divinity. For the man who is already enlightened, For him there is no wonderment because he has already, he doesn't need any reminders to get, he doesn't need that because he has already reached. Bharat, is it okay? The wonderment is at the level of the seeker, because something is transcending his understanding. Reminds him of that higher power which can't be named, which can't be thought about. But immediately what we do, we name it, we give it a form and destroy it. In wonderment, carefully follow, in wonderment there is it is just an wonderment. There is no name, there is no form, there is no nothing there. That's why it is the wonderment is the purest form of inspiration, because there is no name there is no form there is no nothing there. But immediately you have to give it a name, a form, and kill it. Don't do that. Stay in that. That's why wonderment is the true reminder of divinity. Are you able to follow? Ascharya alone is the true reminder of divinity, because it is, you can't say anything about it, you can't qualify it, you can't give it a form, you can't do anything to it, but you know that something is there. That's it. That is God. That is divine. Stay in it. Stay in it. Don't give it a name. Don't give it a form. Don't do something, and by giving a name and form, that inexplicable, incomprehensible wonderment turns into something that you can comprehend. As a result of which, what happens? And divinity is gone. The form is there, reminder is not there. Today we have so many forms of gods and goddesses, but none of these forms evoke wonderment. Are you able to follow? That's why the true religiosity is to stay in that wonderment. Ascharya, Ascharya, Ascharya. You can't name it. You can't give it a form. That's why I said, don't kill it by calling it as happiness, cheerful, peaceful. So don't give it any, by giving a name, by giving a form, it is instantly killed, it's instantly destroyed. After destroying wonderment, what divinity you can experience? You can only get attached. You can only turn fanatic. You can only get attached. You can't become spiritual. That's why the moment you give it a form, you develop attachment, you develop a set of mechanical rituals. Are you able to follow? Wonderment is a reminder of divinity. Just stay in wonderment. Don't verbalize it. Don't use your linguistic knowledge and start explaining it. That's why they say, if you experience it, stay quiet. Don't. By talking about it, you have killed it. By talking about it, you have. But it is so inspiring, I wanted to share it, sir. First have it in abundance to share. You yourself is having only so little, increase it first. Have it in, definitely share. We are not saying be selfish. Share. But first have it in, let it be in abundance. And that abundance will speak by itself. Therefore, how do you know that you are having knowledge? How do you know that you are growing in the path? Wonderment. And wonderment is nothing but the reminder of divinity. And that reminder, subtler and subtler things smaller and smaller things, day-to-day things can remind you of divinity. Means you have evolved that much. That's what he's saying. A daffodil means something that is something that is there which makes no. That's where elsewhere in the Gita he is going to say patram pushpam phalam toyam. Don't have to make an elaborate paraphernalia. Any leaf is any leaf. Patram pushpam phalam, drop of fruit, but exotic fruit I have to import from Australia. He says whatever is there on the roadside, pick it up. That is enough. He himself, wonderment. What is that wonderment? A reminder of divinity. As you are evolving, the most inconsequential things, the things which you have taken it for granted, things that doesn't seem so meaningless, itself becomes inspiring. Ramatirtha says, Vedanta is found in the brooks. It murmurs in the leaves. It's there everywhere to see it. You don't have to go and sit in a particular place, he says. That's what he means. You follow? That's what he means. It's there. It's there everywhere. More and more and more you evolve, even the most insignificant things, even the most smallest things. That's why that's why Krishna is called Vanamali, no? Wearer of wild flowers. Wild flowers means flower, anything is there. He wears it. That itself he is able to evoke inspiration. That itself is is Krishna. Krishna means, the word Krishna means dark. You know that no, Krishna is a dark looking personality. He's not fair and lovely personality. He's a dark. Krishna itself means dark, grey, black. It's black. See, he's black and he is able to evoke. So even till date he is able to evoke. Great. All because of what? All because of what? He taught us the truth and he is teaching us how to ask the essential question and giving methodology for tapas. Complete he is. In fact, all enlightened masters are that. All enlightened masters are so complete. They are so complete. What is the completeness? They have experienced. For them there is no need to sit and do all this, because they have already experienced. Having experienced, they do all this. For what? To tell us the path. To tell us the path. This man Shankaracharya used to go through that pain and torture so much upon himself. Quite a few times asked, why do you torture yourself like that? He says, this much if I do only, the fellow will want to do this much. If I am not even doing this much, you will not do anything. See, that man need not do any suppose at all, for he has transcended. For he has transcended. You follow? For he has transcended. He says no. Even if I don't, yadyada jarati shreshtaha tat eva itara jana. This much if I do, you will think, maybe one day I should also do. Now you will not do. Now you will not. You follow what I am saying? They talk about the highest and then they teach you the question. First they say question and then they say what is the essential question to ask. Tapas. Both are done together. You evolve. How do you know that you are doing? Don't come and cross check with me. You don't have to come and cross check with the master whether I am a otherwise you have to go and ask him every year. Measure phone varshadukku indu varshadukku any increase. I can't measure, but measuring type he gives you that also. He gives you that also. You know for yourself. How do you know for yourself? Ascharya, wonderment. He makes you so self-sufficient. He makes you so independent. To that we remain grateful. You are grateful to your father because he has made you independent. Correct? Are you able to understand this? Made you free, you become grateful. That itself is Ascharya, wonderment. With this, I conclude Ascharya. Next class we will move on to the. I can talk for another one more year because so much is there, but you also have to proceed with the text to know. Yeah. Ascharya is reminder of. That's all, in one word. Less evolved you are, more reminders you need. Less evolved you are, more reminders you need. More you evolve, even the inconsequential things can remind you. And just stay with it as a reminder. Don't verbalize it. Don't give it a name. Don't give it a form. Don't give it anything. Just stay in that. Quietly. In silence. Don't come out and give a discourse. By giving a discourse, I am killing my wonderment. Yeah. Don't give a discourse. Simply soak in that. Just allow it to sink in you. Absorb it. Just absorb it. Live it. That's it. In abundance, it will show on its. In abundance, it will show by itself. Yeah, Bharat. This is what wonderment is all about.